Socrates once famously said, "All that I know is that I know nothing." And if you think that through, if I know nothing, then how do I really know that I know nothing? That's what we call a paradox. But I want to show you a passage that shows this is more than a paradox. This is the beginning of wisdom. In Proverbs 30, we have Agar, who we know nothing more than what he writes here, but he gives his credentials for his wisdom. And in Proverbs 30 and verse 2, he says, "Surely I am more stupid than any man. I do not have the understanding of a man. I neither learn wisdom nor have knowledge of the Holy One. Who has ascended into heaven or descended? Who has gathered the wind in his fist? Who has bound the waters in a garment? Who has established all the ends of the earth? What is his name, or what is his son's name, if you know? Every word of God is pure. He's a shield to those who put their trust in him. Do not add to his words, lest he rebuke you and you be found a liar." His credentials: I'm stupid and I don't have understanding. It doesn't seem to make much sense, but if you want to be wise, where do you got to begin? You got to acknowledge your own stupidity. You got to acknowledge that you don't understand everything, because if you don't, you're never going to learn anything. Ever try to teach somebody who thinks they know everything? Doesn't work, does it? Because if we think we know something, then we're going to rely upon that instead of listening and learning from the Lord. Agar goes on to say that he didn't create everything. He's not God. But every word that God speaks is pure and has been tested. And so wisdom doesn't require us to go search it out. Wisdom requires us to accept what God has already said. And so I don't know everything, but God does. And if we would just listen to his word, we can have understanding. But where we get ourselves into trouble is thinking, well, God knows something, but I know something too. And so we start filtering out what God has said, or we start adding our own I think so's in there, and we make truth untruth. But if God hasn't said it, then I don't really know it. Doesn't it make sense? If God created everything, and he did, and if I want to know how things are supposed to function, supposed to work, then I need to go to him to find out, because God knows everything, and I don't.